What's going on, guys? It's Chris. Thanks for joining me live tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about basically just an open discussion about possibly you having too much going on in your life. Maybe you're feeling too busy, and some signs that are sure tell signs that you have got too much going on, and time being the most valuable asset that we have. Maybe some steps and some things that you guys can put into place immediately to help you guys start to free up time, because time freedom is what we are all looking for right now. So I'll be right back in a second. We'll hit this thing off. Alright guys, so tonight we're talking about how to free up time, some action steps that you can actually take. First off, to see if you have too much going on, to see if you even qualify to free up time. And I'm sure the majority of us do. We're in America. We are running 100 miles an hour at all times. And I'm telling you what, coming from a person who has ran 100 miles an hour in the wrong direction a lot of the times, there are some things that you can put into place that can be freeing up not only your time, but making you money while you sleep. So this is something that has been on my mind for a long time, and I just never knew. I knew what people were doing. I just didn't know that I could ever do it. Now, a lot of people know this. Some of you guys may not that are on here, that are on the live. But, you know, I struggled with ADHD really bad, and everyone's like, yeah, okay, he's finally coming out and admitting it. But, man, I really struggled with it bad for a long time, and it is something that I've had to work on basically my whole life, and recently I was able to get some things figured out and got myself on a really good medicine that has really helped me, and the fog has lifted from my mind, and I can actually see exactly what I need to do, and I think I can help you guys because I've been moving in this direction and is really paying off in such a short amount of time. So let's just discover to see if you even qualify to see if it's something that you guys want to do, and if time is actually against you right now. So a couple things I want to share with you. Number one, if you hardly see your family. So I posted something up top. It said something like, if you're always busy and you feel like success is being busy, and you kind of tie those two things together, then you're time broke if you're always busy and you don't have time for anything. So if you're hardly seeing your family, or you can't remember the last time that you got to see your kids, or you know, you're most likely a victim to that 50 to 60 hour work week. And man, those schedules nowadays in America are just unavoidable if you do not have some things to put in place that can open up that time. And when I say that, I'm not saying go out and quit your job. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying these are things that you can build on the side. Maybe some dreams and some things that you've put away, or maybe some talents that you may not have even known you had, and you can actually build those up on the side to where they weigh so much that the full-time job can possibly, you know, move to the other direction, or maybe even drop down to part-time. So number one, are you hardly seeing your family anymore? Number two, have you lost your sense of purpose or your sense of meaning? So loving your work and going through the motions and all that just to collect a paycheck can really be monotonous, and after a long time of that, you can kind of lose sense of who you are, your dreams, what actually motivated you, the things that you love, and you really need to ask yourself if you have lost some of the meaning of life and what you want just to chase those paychecks. So number three is just consistently trying to meet expectations of other people, and this is a big one. This can actually cloud your mind and take more time than almost anything. In fact, there was a long portion of time there in my life where I was always trying to meet the expectations of someone else, and you're checking your emails more, and you're always on your phone with either your boss or the people at work, and you start really growing resentful of these people, and it can really bridge a gap between the things that you should be doing that can create more time for you, and then the opposite. So a lot of the times, what I'm tending to do now more and more is just taking 10 to 15 minutes to myself. Just try to, reduce the time that I'm always checking in with people or any of that stuff, and trying to elongate that out so that I can have more time to focus on this type of stuff here and the things that are really going to bring value to other people and eventually my own life. And then if you're just not able to be present is number 4. So number 4, if you can't be present in the moment, if you're always thinking about the next thing to do on your checklist, or you find yourself your mind is wandering in places, and you're basically living in a catatonic state where your lists and the things that are on your mind are almost like a weight. And that's what it was for me, having ADHD. It was like I had it was like grasping at a million different balloons in a room, and I'm trying to get to them all, but I can only hold on to one before it slips off, and I was only able to do certain things for a certain amount of time, and it was absolutely exhausting and so time-consuming. I'd find myself just insanely disconnected from my reality and disconnected from the now. So if that's you, you may have a time issue there. If you're exhausted all the time, okay, not just tired. I'm talking about like completely exhausted, laying on the bed, taking naps. That is a really good indication that your stress levels are way up here. You don't have enough time to really do anything except work, make the bills, stress, pressure, the people, everything. So if you find yourself exhausted, that's a really good indication that you're lacking on some time issues right there. And then if you feel like you're failing in a lot of different areas of your life, or falling behind on your relationships, your finances, your bills, that can really steal your love and your passion from the moment as well, and that'll eat your time away as well. And then if you're never taking vacations, or never even, and when I say vacations, a lot of us can't just up and take vacations all the time. That's just not reality. But if you're just busy and your self-worth is down, and then all of a sudden now you can't even disconnect from the grind of it all because you've gotten so used to just go that you can't even disconnect now, even to take time for yourself. You've got a big time issue with the time issue. If you have a hard time focusing on one or more tasks more than 10 minutes, that means you're too bogged down with things. If that's you, then obviously this is going to be a good discussion to have. If you're just unhappy and you just don't know why, that kind of ties into that, just that feeling, that heavy weight, that being too stressed out or having too much going on or too busy. Creating that successful lifestyle, man. If that's success, I don't want any part of it. And never asking for help. That's another big one. If you don't ask for help, with anything that you're doing, that can be an indication that you're trying to take on too much as well. So, if you're forgetting to eat, I don't know if anybody is out here. Eating on the run is a big one. Energy, the food that we consume has an energy to it, whether you want to believe it or not. I know this is really weird. Some of you guys don't know this about me, but I'm actually a certified Reiki master, which is a life force energy, and dealing with chakras and all that. I went to school for that for 9 months and did the whole 9 yards. If you guys ever want to talk about it, just hit me up. But I am a certified Reiki master, and a lot of it was just sitting down and being in the moment when you would eat and enjoying every single bite and the different flavors and the taste and feeling the fact that you're here. We get so caught up in today's society because we're always on that clock, and it's so sad to me that is what we are programmed to do. Go clock in, do your 40 hours, sit there and make those calls, do this report, go have that meeting. When you're done with that meeting, you got 3 extras because you didn't catch up on yesterday's and all. That stuff, guys, it's a grinding of not only your body physically, but it's also a grinding of your spiritual and the energy that's in you and what God put in you. And if you just feel like you're lonely, that's another big one. You definitely need to step out, and you're definitely dealing with some things where you probably need to try to figure out a way to free up the time. So I went ahead and made kind of a list of some things, some ideas that we are utilizing to create more time. How do you create time? Well, you know how the old saying, time is money, which you have to put in time in order to get the money. I mean, that is just, that's common sense. But there's a smarter way to do it to where the energy that you're putting into something and the amount of transaction of my time and my lifespan that I'm going to give to this needs to produce this. The majority of us are working at a place this long, giving our 40 to 50 hours, and it produces this much one time, to where you have to continually do that week after week after week after week. It is a rat race. It will grind you down, and it's that old school mentality. We, fortunately, live in a society where we have the world at our fingertips. These guys right here. This little contraption right here, our phones, can create any type of income that we want. You just have to understand it, you have to learn it, and then you have to put what you learn into the world using that device. And with that one device, and your computers, there's a million different ways that you can be utilizing a short amount of time. It's going to take a lot of work, but a short amount of time that will continue to make money for you instead of just covering a week at a time. You're grinding a week. You're grinding a week. This may take you a 6 to 8 month grind, but then it's all of these ideas that I'm going to share, they're just passive. So you're going to be collecting money over and over and over for that short amount of time. So let's go ahead and go over some of these. If this is making sense, let me know. Hit a 1 downstairs, comment 1 if that makes sense to you. So one of the first things I wanted to talk about, and the first thing that I feel is one of the strongest things that you can do, it's free to do, and you can be building it on the side with just the part-time that you have, is just, starting your, you want to start like a blog, okay? So a blog is super easy to start. They are informational. You build a following with these. You build a lot of influence with blogs. And the cool thing about blogs is that they lead into other things. A lot of the high-level income earners that are in, any type of business, really, they all typically have a blog. And what they do is they use websites like rev.com to take their videos and they transcribe them, turn them into text, and then they make a blog to post those in. And then they, market their blog or anything like that, and it creates a cycle, right? So if somebody is seeing them on YouTube with the video, they say, come check out my blog site. They go over to the blog. Now they see that same thing transcribed, the video, but then there's little clips in there like, check out my other 10 da-da-da-da-da. Now you're following them through their information that they've sat and created, and each one of those typically turns into some form of product or money that they have created on the back end with information, and we'll get to that in a second. But one of the 3 top blogs that you can actually do, the 3 top blogs actually that you can do are dating, financial, and fitness blogs. So I did some research and I found that those are the 3 most trending blogs that you can do. And then they're also the 3 of the top earning blogs across the country are either dating, financial, and fitness. Now, those are all separated, so they're niched out. So it wouldn't just be a widespread dating blog. It would be for marriages, how do you get through a broken relationship, those type of things. So you want to take the broad and really create a niche that speaks to you, because obviously you have to be pretty passionate about what you do, because that's going to be more fun to you and it's going to fuel you. And then in turn, like for me, I'm most likely going to do a blog on helping people in their business, because that's what my passion is. I love to speak and discover things and then instantly share them with my people, and that's what I want to do. So mine is most likely going to be some form of business blog of some kind. Okay, so that's the first one. And then number two, another great way to increase your time, okay, is going to be take your product, whatever it is, product, business, make sure that you create one of those. We'll talk about that in a second. But once you have your business or your product, and I'm talking to those people that already have this, you have a product, you need to make an automated webinar, all right? Webinars are absolutely killer. They are so phenomenal, because all you have to do is create something one time and then you put it out there and it's doing the work on the back end. And I did want to show you guys, if you have a second or two, one of the things that I have worked on, and it is an automated webinar. I do all mine through ClickFunnels. And ClickFunnels is a pretty awesome program. It's done by Russell Brunson. That dude I've talked about him before. He's absolutely amazing. And let me take a look, see if we can bring this in here. So ClickFunnels is an amazing thing here. And basically what it is, it'll help you, create webinars and funnels and stuff. And I'll tell you a little bit more about these here in a second. But these are kind of what they're going to look like. So when you go in here, you're going to go to, and I've already got a bunch of these things, created. Obviously, this is what I've been doing here for the last 4 months or so. But the one that I wanted to show you guys is just like a webinar. It's one of my automated webinars, and it's an ebook that I wrote. It's called The Big Close here, and this is actually what it is. This is what it looks like. So the Big Close is just a webinar, an automated webinar. So when you go into it, and I'm actually going to do a training on the 25 top things to get people to click into your webinars, and I'll be doing that live on here as well. But basically it just goes through, they join your webinar, you create some urgency in here, you do a couple things in here, you can have all your social media sites. But basically what an automated webinar does is it is going to, and that goes in after you do that. I'm not going to get into that too much because I don't feel like that's what we need to get into tonight. But basically what that does is moves your product while you sleep. All right, so if you sell Mary Kay, Unique, LuLaRoe, any of that stuff, you need to have something that is sharing with people to where you can get them in while you're asleep. So because people are up 1, 2, 3 a.m., you're not going to be there live to do that all the time. So you need to have it on automation so that you can be collecting leads, so that you can be collecting sales, so that you can be doing upsells with one click to where people can add on a bunch of your products. It just makes sense, okay? So make sure that is one of the top things that I tell everybody to do. Try to get some form of webinar, and any business, any niche can do this. If you have a product or even a service to sell, you can at least get the contact of the person. They can learn all about you without you even being there. Okay, so make sure that you do that. And then number 3, guys, this is a cool one, and Danny's going to be working on this one. Write a book. Okay, books are amazing. E-books are amazing. They're easy to do. In fact, I'm going to give you a couple self-publishing places that you can actually go when you write them, and they will actually turn these into books for you. And a lot of people are doing now. You'll probably see it. It's a shipping, free book plus, and you pay the shipping. All right, so a lot of people are doing that, and that's just to spread their message and to spread what they do on the back end. And it's just a phenomenal way to give an absolute ton of value. But I wanted to go over three different places that you can go to for self-publishing, to where basically all you have to do is just write it, send it in, and whenever they make a sale, you'll get the money from that. And that's passive income, and that's going to free up time. So my first one is CreateSpace, and I did some research on these. So CreateSpace is absolutely free. You can publish your books and all that. When you sell your book, the cost of the actual paperback comes out of the print and the shipping. So the cost, you would have your cost like $12.99 or whatever. They would take the cost of the actual paperback out, and then also the shipping. So you would get whatever was left over, which still, if it is on an automation, that's going to be a lot of money in the back end. So that's a great way to make a passive income. So CreateSpace, make sure to remember that. Another one is Author House. Now this one goes a little bit more into depth. This one actually creates ebooks for $799, and they get 50% royalty of every book that is sold, okay, online. And if you sell it in a brick and mortar, then they only take 25%. But they are actually like they're a little bit higher end because they do it's not paperback, it's an actual book, okay? So look up Author House. And then the other one was Xlibris. It's Xlibris. They do ebooks for $4.99 and 50% royalty, and theirs go all the way up to $15,249 for their books. So they're big time. They do the copyright. They do the whole 9 yards for you as well. And then number 4, guys, build an info funnel. I also have one of these through ClickFunnels. The informational funnels, they lead people through, give them all the information that they need, and then you ask for the money on the back end. Another great way to make money while you sleep, and eventually, and hopefully, and if you do it right, make a full-time income just on the back end, okay? And then lastly, I'm going to just put it out here, guys. You need to start a network marketing company. You know, even some of the greats, the most insanely wealthy, have said if they ever lost anything, if they had lost it all tomorrow, what would they do? They would do network marketing. It creates more women millionaires than any other thing that you can possibly do right now. So again, this is coming from experience. Danny and I have made several full-time incomes from network marketing, and we are looking to continue to do this because it's amazing. You can help your friends, your family. Like, it's if you do it right and you teach people the right way, it can absolutely be a blessing. All right. Now, if you're telling people that they just need to hammer on their networks and just share product after product, obviously that's why it's gotten such a bad rap. Because really, if you follow the steps, build your funnels, pick yourself a phenomenal product. I've got one now. If any of you are watching this, I can send you the information. Just put info down low and I'll send that to you. But you need to find something that's got a great market, that's a niche. I typically, this is just my own, and other leaders and stuff, they would say different, but we like to find the newest because it's a lot easier to grow at the beginning. So we are connected with some people that have always been able to share some of the newer things that have come out. Try your product first, and then share your product. Network marketing companies can be done on the back end, and those can take off so well that maybe you just fall in love with it. Maybe you just fall in love with not just the money and all that, but I'm talking the traveling, the life experience, the time that it frees up. So guys, look into some of these. Another one is real estate, and I'm 100% full. Danny and I are wanting to get into rentals and stuff. That's another big one. But those are really my top things that I would deliver to you to say, look into these things. You know, and I don't care if you have a business now or you don't want to do that. Good, you don't want to do network marketing. At least get a funnel for your company so that it's selling on the back end while you sleep. I promise it'll destroy your stress levels if you can be making money on the go every day. Just your phone starts going off and, hey, wow, we just sold 3 of our golf clubs. You know, whatever you do, it doesn't matter. But you have to start broadening your business horizons and looking into some of these things, because it is the future and you do not want to get left behind. So hopefully, thank you guys all so much for being here. I appreciate it so much. If you like this kind of information, share this with anybody that you know. Invite people to come in on the page. Remember that the drawing for the week-long Starbucks is tomorrow. I'll be announcing that to anybody who came in, shared that on their personal page, tagged a couple of their friends, added them to the fan page here. Guys, I appreciate your guys' time tonight. Thank you all so much for being here live. I hope you guys have a blessed Friday. I love y'all. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the drawing. You guys sleep well, and just know that I am here grinding, and that's basically what it takes in order to get the job done. And so utilize your time the best way that you can. All right. I love y'all. God bless. See ya.